I think Tom Brady showed, you know what? The quarterback has become so important with the rules changes and everything that they have influence like an NBA star.
But see, but there was no real influence from Tom Brady. What influence did he have?
Well,
You got Antonio Brown there.
First he got Jimmy Garoppolo moved out of New England.
Then he say he got Jimmy Garoppolo. I wish people stopped saying he got him traded.
He went to Robert Kraft and got him traded, according to reports.
Stop. Man. No.
So you think that was Bill Belichick that wanted to get Jimmy G traded?
Belichick moved on from Jimmy G. Mr. Kraft is the owner of the team. He does not get involved in their personnel decisions whatsoever. He is hands off.
He hadn't.
I don't know why people just put that out there like that. Tom wanted Jimmy Garoppolo traded when Tom and Jimmy Garoppolo share the same agent, and but I can see how people would report things when you don't refute it. And Tom Brady never said anything, and Jimmy Garoppolo never said anything, and Bill never said. So people just run with it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got a relationship like that, you don't force somebody out of town because you are threatened on your job, and so therefore 2 years, 3 years later, you're going to set the team up for failure by leaving. Tom Brady left, and the reason I even brought that up, Max, is because all Tom Brady did was leave. When he left, that didn't show any power. His contract was up. He didn't force his way out. He didn't do anything. He simply let his contract expire. There was an offer extended to him to stay in New England. He decided, I'm good. I don't
After 20 years, to leave. That I don't think – I believe that is connected to the fact that Brady or Belichick, who is it? That's the great debate of the 21st century in sports. Other than is LeBron as good as MJ?
I think people want to make that a debate. You got to be a damn fool to think that they didn't go hand in hand together, and one was more responsible for something than the other. You got to be.
Yeah, but that's
silly to think that.
That's what this looks like it was about.
But
you got to be silly to think that, though, Max.
You brought up an interesting point. Them not refuting it, right? Whereas Aaron Rodgers speaks his mind. Like even yesterday, speaking his mind about how he felt.
Yeah.
Brady started his public behavior was outwardly. His public behavior was more free and less reserved once he got to Tampa. He was saying what was on his mind more, right? Publicly, Brady was. Rodgers saw that. Rodgers also saw he landed in Tampa. He got them to bring in Gronk. He got them to bring in AB. He got them to change the way they played.
Every year when a quarterback or a player is any good, you can walk to the front office and say, hey, I got JWill, who was a great point guard, and they know, and they looking for that position, and they say, yeah, you probably are right. He didn't tie their hands behind their back, make them sign Gronk. There was a relationship with him as well as Bruce Arians, and for Antonio Brown, they needed to fulfill that void. It made sense to sign a guy that you trust his behavior is going to help you win a championship and not go the other way, so you sign him.
Nevertheless, Tom Brady was on a team that was not drafting well. He was kicking the can down the road with his contract to give them cap relief, and they weren't signing effective players on the offense. And he went to a situation where they had the things he wanted and needed, and they would work with him and do the things he wanted and needed. Rodgers saw that. I think Russell Wilson saw that and said, whatever the contract situation was, different or same as Brady, they saw that and thought, wait a minute. Superstar quarterbacks have power here. Rodgers started making demands. Russell Wilson sort of did. And things seem to have changed in the NFL. It's probably going to be Rodgers last year with the team.
Hasn't that always been
the
the case?
I was about to say,
I was going to stop.
I wanted you to finish. I wanted you to finish your thoughts. Aaron Rodgers had a problem with the Green Bay Packers several years ago. His problems just didn't start because of Tom Brady's decision to go to Tampa. Aaron Rodgers was not happy with them several years ago, all the way dating back to when they didn't have Aaron Jones in the backfield, and they was messing around with, I almost said Clay Lacy. What's Lacy's name? Eddie Lacy. When they was messing around with Eddie Lacy way back when, Aaron Rodgers was having a problem. When the defense was bad and he was carrying the offense, Aaron Rodgers kept telling them, we need to shore up our defense. So it didn't just happen because of Tom Brady. All I'm saying is, when you are an Aaron Rodgers in these situations, you can't pay attention to to the outside noise. I can't speak to mental health. I can't speak to any of those things. What I can speak to is when you put yourself in there and you're constantly in there, watching everything somebody's saying, listening like rabbit ears. As soon as somebody says something, your ears go up. It's going to eventually bother you. But you got to remove yourself from it. It ain't going nowhere. It's not going anywhere.